All right, I'm ready.
All right. You look sexy?
Yeah.
Do I look sexy?
You're good.
It is Monday, November 27th, and you're listening to Just a Bit Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Chumpy Crash Reynolds, and this is my lovely co-host, Adrian Bertazoid Townsend.
Whoop.
And this one is for all the times you were told to not blow bubbles in your chocolate milk.
Tick tock, tick tock.
So you knew it was from Hook. It's a Hook reference,
Yeah,
like the movie about Peter Pan.
I just saw that movie recently, actually.
Did you? It's
funny.
so good.
It's funny you brought that up.
I don't know why it crossed my mind when I was doing the intro.
You must have watched it recently, too.
We should have a contest.
To guess the movie references?
No, to have somebody actually come up with an opening slogan for
There you
us.
go.
Like an actual recurring motto. Instead of this slapdash garbage every episode.
I like the slapdash garbage.
Yeah.
I actually look forward to hearing what you have. Because
That should be my gamer tag. Slapdash
Slapdash
garbage. Slapdash garbage.
Yeah, you could do that. Or make it as your motto. I know like on Xbox you have a motto.
Yeah.
I don't know about PlayStation though. Yeah, cool.
So
We're
hey,
back. Yeah.
how you doing?
Good, man. It's good to have you back.
It's good to be back again.
We are
Making a habit of it.
making this a reality. We just had Thanksgiving. How was your Thanksgiving?
Man, it was really good. Ate a lot of stuff. Drank a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Played with the babies. Fat Big and the bird.
That's right.
Hung out with the wife a little. I tried to teach Fat Big how to shoot BB guns, but he was spooked by the noise they made, so he wasn't.
They're not
into
even loud.
It was just he would tense up because he knew that little pop was going to happen.
Oh, okay.
I said, I don't like it.
He didn't want to shoot his eye out.
It goes bah. So he wouldn't really do it. So we just played on the trampoline and.
Well, at least you know that since he is always the bad guy, he won't be the bad guy with the gun.
Yeah. He much prefers physical, like hand-to-hand combat. He's a master tactician, that one.
Okay. He could be the karate bad guy.
Yeah, he
the ninja
came at
bad
me
guy.
the other day and was I called him a turd hat.
Yeah.
And so he was arguing with me that I was in fact the turd hat, and he kept poking my cheek and getting closer and closer to my face.
Hey, why do you have to poke my cheek?
Well, it adds to the story.
Okay.
That's the spice.
Ooh.
And I said, you better watch out before you poke my eye. And he goes, okay. And poked my eye.
Oh, no.
And then immediately goes, I'm so sorry.
No
And
way.
gave me a big hug and goes, did you know you and mommy love me?
He's too smart for his own good,
He's
man.
too damn smart, dude.
Oh, I've been
Too
poked in
smart.
the eye before by probably all of my kids at some point in time. That stuff sucks, man.
Yeah, because you don't know what those little fingers have been in.
Well, you don't know what they've been in, and they're usually not cut, so the
They got-
nails
they got
like
a
will
little
stab your
dagger.
eyeball.
Yeah, a little dagger on the end there. Yeah,
Ugh.
it's rough.
Yeah.
Getting poked in the eye by a 3-year-old is rough stuff.
It is, and it's not fun. And getting hit in the balls
Yeah.
is not fun either.
But every time he does something like that, he just immediately, like, before I can even react, already has his arms around me. He's like, I love you. Did you remember that you love me? He's like a Sour Patch Kid. Like, he's sour and then sweet, and then he disappears. Have you seen those commercials?
Yes.
Sour, sweet, gone?
Yeah.
Yeah, he fucks with me, and then he loves on me, and then he just leaves. On to greater things.
That's an abusive relationship.
Yeah, like eating at Chili's.
I haven't been there in ages, man.
Right?
Yeah.
You got away.
I got away.
I keep trying to convince people they don't see how Chili's loves me when the doors are closed. So how was your Thanksgiving?
Well, we made a trip to the grand in-laws.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I got to meet a bunch of my wife's family that I've never met before,
Oh,
actually.
wow.
Which is interesting. They were all really nice, and it was a pleasant trip. It was a whirlwind trip. I got off of work, and we went straight there Wednesday night, spent all day Thursday, got up Friday, drove all the way back, and this is a 4-hour trip. Drove all the way back, and then went to my in-laws' father's side of the family's Thanksgiving. Spent the rest of the day there. Oh, and I had a root canal right before I did all that too. So drove back Friday, went and had a root canal done, then went to the other in-laws Thanksgiving, then got done with that. Tooth was in, oh my gosh, my tooth was hurting. It was numb the whole way through the party or the Thanksgiving thing. By the end of it, it was just killing me and I had to get back. And
so were you just attacking your turkey with drool and grunts?
I was trying to drink. I had some water. I was trying to drink some water. It just kept falling down my face and on my shirt and everything. And
that's how.
But when the pain,
a man drinks water.
Exactly. When the numbness started to wear off, the pain was excruciating, man. It was so bad. So I got back home, took some ibuprofen, and I actually knocked it out pretty well. Started to play some games with a couple friends of mine on the PlayStation, and my internet wasn't working. So that was crap because I was going to play with Max and Billy. I've talked about them on the show. And we were going to play, you know, Worms or something like that. And I couldn't get my stupid internet to work. So that would have been a good finish to kind of a long day to just unwind on some Worms. And Worms. I didn't get to do it. But
I'm sorry you didn't get to do Worms.
Did you download Worms, by the way?
I did. I haven't played it, but I downloaded it. Well, actually, I turned it on for like 10 minutes the other day, but got distracted.
See, that's the... Have you played a Worms game at all?
Yeah. I played it when it was first out back in the day.
Okay. Then we need to get a game of Worms going on. Maybe if I can get Max and Billy back on again and have you on as well.
That'd be a good time.
We can do a 4-player match. That game is a ton of fun. We had a lot of people.
I'm trying to get Shelby to play it. She was talking the other day about how she was a big Worms fan when she was a kid. And I was like, I downloaded this shit.
Let's play it.
Let's play it.
So, I wonder if you could do multiplayer local, but also online.
I don't see why not.
Yeah, it seems like you should be able to.
You should be able to.
We gotta give that a try.
If not, I hold that you should.
Cool. I wish I had a way to transition, but I don't. So let's.
It takes hormones and surgeries. I mean, I've
not that kind of transitioning.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, transition to the next topic.
Maybe.
Which is what we're playing. What we're playing. Did you like that?
Yeah,
Thanks.
I did. You should turn that into a soundbite.
See, I've been wanting to like toy with transitional
little
sound clips, you know.
So
I thought I could just like beatbox it myself. What we're playing.
What? We're playing.
So I've been playing a heck of a lot of Evil Within 2. Let's just say that. I picked that game up the weekend. No, wait. Let's see. Maybe 2 weekends ago.
Okay.
GameStop had it on sale for $30 before the Black Friday sale, which they had it for $25.
Ooh.
That game is amazing. So I have the first.
It's a spooky game, right?
It's a horror game, yeah. So it's not for, if you are not a fan of horror games, I wouldn't play this. If you're not a fan of kind of gory horror games, I wouldn't play this. There's a lot of gore going on in this game. But that being said, if you do like horror games and you do like a good story and good gameplay, semi-open world horror game, this is for you. Even if you've never played the first Evil Within, or you played it like me,
Weevil Within.
That's the show. That's the show. That's the show time.
Sifting all of the flour in your kitchen.
Weevil Within.
Weevil Within.
So
this time it's cornmeal.
Weevil. So on Weevil Within, it like. For my,
did you say Weevil Within again?
Yeah, it's gonna be called that now. You got it stuck in my head. It's like Resident Evil. My buddy,
Resident Weevil.
my buddy Bill, he came over and he called it Residential Evil for whatever reason.
Was he serious?
Yeah, I think he was.
Bill.
I was like, Bill, no, it's Resident Evil.
Residential Evil.
And then and then it became Residential Evil to him because he thought it was funny.
Because it had been said.
Yeah, it had already been said. Now it's funny. Now it's a joke. So from there on out, whenever he talked to me about Resident Evil, is Residential Evil.
Yeah, that's just a game about being part of a homeowners association.
Yeah, it's pretty much. So Weevil Within, if you play... See, same thing. It's a joke now. All right, I'll go back to normal. Evil Within, if you played the first Evil Within and it didn't really click with you, I would say that's okay, because that's what happened with me. I had the first one, played through it a little bit, and it just really wasn't clicking with me. I think the game was hard, first of all, and that was a big turnoff for me. The second thing that really kind of turned me off about it is there was a lot of weird settings and like when I say settings, like environments, you know, where the game is taking place. It kind of jumps around a little bit, and you couldn't really quite figure out what the heck was going on. And so the story wasn't really clarifying anything for you. So you didn't really have, you didn't really
kind of put it together yourself.
Yeah. And so you felt like you were aimlessly walking around killing monsters, and you didn't really know what you were doing or what you're supposed to be going. You have these people talking to you through a radio telling you where you need to go next, but your ultimate goal was never really made evident, I guess. So that reasons like that is what kind of turned me off from the game. But this second game kind of takes a different approach in that the gameplay style is still similar, but now it starts you off telling you exactly what's going on, why you are doing what you're doing, and so nothing is being, you have a clear goal, right? So nothing is being withheld from you, and so you kind of want to see it through. And this is going a little bit into spoiler territory, even though it's in the opening cinematic of the game. So when you first started the game, before you even play anything, this is what you're going to see. If you don't want to hear it, fast forward just a little bit. But at the beginning of the game, in the opening cinematic, you are playing as the same character from the first game, and you are seeing your house burning, and you run through it, and you get to the top, you find your daughter who gets burned alive, basically, and it turns out to be like a dream, a recurring dream that he has that actually happened. So,
oh wow,
his house burned down, and his daughter died in the house. So he's always led to believe that his daughter is dead. Well, his daughter was actually kidnapped by this corporation who creates like a Assassin's Creed style Animus, you know, where you get inside this world and it's all in your head, and you just sit down in this tank. They put this thing over your head, or Matrix style, I guess. So they needed like a pure soul or whatever, a pure person to kind of run the place. It's kind of a weird premise, I guess. So the purest form was this little girl that, you know, I guess they ran tests on multiple children or whatever, and this little girl happened to fit the mold, and so they kidnapped her and then staged a death. So they get
the corporation is,
I don't remember.
Microsoft.
EA. So
we'll save that conversation.
Yeah. So they get her, and they put her into the machine, and then they also put this other like artist guy into the machine, and this artist guy happens to be like
Bob Ross.
No, not Bob Ross. Although that would have been really cool. Have like pretty clouds and stuff.
Fire was a happy little accident.
Oh, this would be a totally different game had Bob Ross been the choice. So they put this. It would have been actually. I want to play that game.
All the nightmares are actually painted as serene landscapes by him, and then you get sucked into the matrix of that landscape and find the nightmare hiding inside the paintings.
It never changes. It's always the same. Pretty little trees.
So meta. Like you have to like find the cabin in the painting, and then get inside, and then there's a painting in the cabin.
Let's make this game.
And by the time it's all done, you're actually just in a library on YouTube.
Watching
Bob Ross videos
while you're sleeping.
Yes.
That sounds like a dream I would have with Bob Ross playing in the background. I have fallen asleep watching Bob Ross many a times.
We've all done it.
It's very... So anyway, this artist that they get, he's
bless up Bob Ross.
He's an egotistical, insane murderer. He kills people for... and he captures the moment that they are dying and creates like artistic pieces out of this. All right. He's wacko. Anyway, he's in this for whatever reason they put him in this machine, and I found out just recently why they put him in, but that's a spoiler, so I won't.
So you're moving like into real spoiler territory.
Moving into that. This is still beginning of the game stuff.
Okay,
but he's in this world, and he's like totally taken it over and created monsters and everything, and it's just like an evil within world, you know.
Ooh.
So they take your character and they tell him, look, your daughter's still alive. She's in this machine, that same machine that you were in the first game. Now we want you to go back in and go through all this horror stuff again to rescue your daughter. Well, of course he's going to do it to go rescue his daughter. So he gets in there, and that is the premise of the game. You are trying to find your daughter, and you come across her a few times, and you're following her trail. You got this radio that helps track her. But you are in this like town, I guess, and the town has a name that I also can't recall at this point, but it's an open world in that you have objectives and quests given to you by other soldiers who have been put in there, who you're also supposed to rescue. And so one of them might be, go to this location and get me this item because I need it to hack this computer or whatever. So you go do that, and you're fighting really creepy, fast monsters that will tear you up very quickly. And it's just a cool open world game with a really good, intriguing storyline.
That is that seems like a solid storyline.
It really is.
It seems a lot more interesting than a lot of other horror games that are out there.
It's well thought out. At this point in time, yeah, like the story has been something that's really kept me going. The gameplay is really good. The horror and the tense, like playing this game makes you tense, man. It makes me tense. I'm playing it and I'm like having to sneak around everywhere. There's a lot of elements of sneaking, and if you can get a sneak kill, you can kill these guys instantly. Ammo is very scarce. So, well, I say that, but I have a ton of ammo because I don't use it. I try to sneak around a lot, but I could see if you wanted to play this game by not sneaking and just shooting everything, you wouldn't be able to do it. There's not enough ammo too. Because a lot of these bad dudes take a lot of shots to kill.
I'm an ammo happy player too.
Yeah, you could put it on they have a casual mode where supposedly ammo is not an issue. I'm playing it on normal, and I so far have not had an issue of running out of ammo or anything like that. But it's still tense in knowing that you could run out of ammo.
Right.
And so you sneak around, killing these dudes, doing quests, going to the next area. There's always that carrot on the stick to keep you coming back for more. And I'm just totally into this game. Amy's into it. She'll watch me play it. And yeah, so that's been what I've been playing for the past 2 weeks. I don't know like some reasons why you should play it if you didn't like the first game. Open world, first of all. Story is fantastic. That's the second thing. I would say that the leveling up and the inventory and all that stuff has been overhauled, and it's much better this time. Easier to understand than the first game was. Also, if you've played the first game, if you've never played the first game, you can absolutely jump into this one.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they do a slight recap, I guess, about the previous game. Like, people reference it a lot, but it's never to a point where specific things happened in the first game. It's always just kind of general. Okay, you understand that this dude has already been in this machine and gone through this crazy.
I mean, they're just projecting.
Yeah, he's done this already. Yeah, so he's the perfect candidate to go back into this world and fix things. If he did it once and survived, he can do it again. So that's the big reason why they called on him. But yeah, I don't know if this game is still on sale. It was like $25-$30 everywhere for Black Friday. I absolutely recommend anybody pick this game up. I love it. I'm so into it. I'm going to finish it probably this week or next.
That's cool.
Yeah, Evil Within 2. That's all I have to say about it. What about you? You been playing anything?
Been playing a lot of Words with Friends.
Oh yeah, I thought that was old news, man.
Man, I go back to games like that.
I honestly, I didn't even know that game was still around.
Yeah, but you know me and my mobile games.
Yeah, that's true.
I've been playing Words with Friends, Word Mole. I picked Bethesda Pinball up again.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, it's fun. I haven't had a lot of time to actually sit down the past couple weeks and commit to playing, like, actually playing something.
Right.
Played a few minutes of Worms and got distracted. I turned on Fortnite the other day, but then had to leave. You know, so I mean, I just haven't had time to sit down and commit to anything
that makes sense.
Couple weeks.
You seem to be more catered to the mobile lifestyle.
Yeah, like something I can pick up and play for a few minutes and then put it away.
Yeah, yeah.
Because a lot of times, by the time I like have extended period that I can sit down and play, it's like late at night and I've got a drink or two in me and Netflix ends up taking over.
I get that.
Because I'm like, Netflix and Hulu, man.
Yeah.
I'm like just so deep. I'm involved with so many shows right now.
What's your favorite thing you're watching right now then?
Man, I keep going back to Community. Have you ever watched that show?
No.
It's a comedy show. Like
on the same vein of The Office, right?
Yeah, similar. Like it doesn't.
I've seen episodes.
It's a good show.
Yeah.
I'm watching the 12th season of Always Sunny in Philadelphia right now.
Is that 12th? Like it's still going on? 12?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like 12th, the most recent season is on Hulu now.
I can't believe that show is still going.
I love that show.
Really?
Yeah.
It hasn't lost its humor?
Nah.
You'd think that after 12 seasons they'd run out, you know, or kind of peter out a little bit.
You would think so, but it's, I mean, but that's kind of the cool thing about a show like that is that the humor built into each character is allowed to stay relatively consistent because it's that character's type of humor. And it's all situational. So really, if you look into it, they're pretty much repeating the same humor, but basing it around different situations, so it seems fresh.
That makes sense.
And it's funny and mindless. Been watching Narcos.
I started that. I watched the first episode and
I think we've talked about Narcos before. That was fucking bonkers, dude.
Yeah, it is
nuts.
I couldn't get into it. I'm one of those.
It starts off slow though.
I'm one of those, like, if a show doesn't catch me after the first episode, I'm sorry, I'm done. You know, I'm not gonna give it the time of day.
I'm kind of that way with movies more. I sat down to watch Rogue One.
Oh, really? You didn't like it?
I watched the first 30 minutes and was like, eh.
Oh, I love that movie.
That's all I had time to watch, so I haven't gone back and finished it.
Okay.
I had time to, I was like, I'm going to start Rogue One, like, give myself a little taste.
Yeah.
So I know that whenever I have time, I'll sit down and finish it. And I've looked at it so many times and been like, well, you know, I think I'll start it again when I'm not distracted, when I can really pay attention.
Yeah.
And commit to it. Same thing with Guardians of the Galaxy, except it roped me in. I just haven't had time to watch more than half of it. The second one.
Yeah.
So
that one's good too. It's not as good as the first one in my opinion, but it's still a damn good movie.
I've got a lot of varied media floating around in my daily life. Just none of it is consistent. I haven't married myself to any of it, and none of it's really video games. But that's only been a couple of weeks. I really would love to find some time to charge the Switch back up and get back on Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Or
Skyrim.
It happened.
It happened, and you don't have it yet.
It finally dropped.
You know what? And you just had a birthday, and you told me you had a little bit of birthday money.
I got a little Skrilla to throw at it. My wife was like, so you've got a little bit of birthday money. What do you think you're going to use it for? I was like, I don't even know what I need. I don't know what I would want. And she was like, nothing? I was like, no, I don't think so. I mean, maybe a pair of tennis shoes, you know, or like, I've been thinking about getting Rosetta Stone Spanish.
That's random.
I've been thinking about doing it for years and just haven't. And then I was like, or the Skyrim port just landed on Switch. And she's like, is it that game? I was like, yeah, that game. And she's like, and you haven't bought it yet?
Yeah, no kidding. She's right.
I was like, yeah, I haven't yet. Well, because I've been, I was like, when my birthday hits, I'm going to get some money. I'm going to buy Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
But then.
Yeah, like just a caveat after off of that, you texted me the last week asking, I got birthday money, should I get Mario Odyssey? And I was like, I love Mario Odyssey, but no, you should be buying Skyrim. This is your game.
For all the times I've talked about it. And I think it dropped on my birthday.
Did it?
The port did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't remember what day it actually came out, but yeah.
If it happened on last Tuesday.
No, it was Friday. It was the Friday. Okay. Yeah.
So, I don't know. And I keep talking, you know, I turned 29 last week and I'm talking about I got some birthday money.
Happy birthday.
Oh, shit. You made me blush. So, that's the awesome thing about extended family that you see on a birthday so close to the holidays is they're like, how old are you now? Here's some money. Yeah. I mean, like, my in-laws give me a card with money and my parents gave me a card with some money. Yeah. And my grandma gave me a card with some money. So, I mean...
Well, I mean, honestly, at that point, what more do you want, you know?
No.
Even when I was a kid, if somebody gave me money, I'd be like, yeah, money.
Yeah, right? Well, I mean, and that's another hard part to it is I'm saving it back to go back to school. So I'm picking and choosing on my purchases right now.
Yeah.
So my wife is like, I don't know if you're supposed to save birthday money to go back to school. I think you're supposed to get something cool for yourself. I was like, well, I'm trying to redo our bathroom. I do need a new caulk gun. She's like, no, you're still missing the point.
Did you just say caulk gun?
Caulk.
There you go. There you go.
My new caulk gun. So, yeah, I'm probably.
So you use your birthday money to buy a caulking gun?
I found one at the thrift store. So I used $3 of my birthday money to buy a new caulking gun.
Well, good on you.
Thanks, man.
The life of a husband and father, I guess, and homeowner.
So she's like, at least buy yourself something, like one fun thing with your birthday money. So I'm probably gonna end up buying Skyrim.
You really need to. I want to hear your review on it,
so I can finally shut up about it.
Well,
or never shut up about it. The other downside is I don't know if I'll ever play Legend of Zelda again if I have Skyrim on there.
You might. Who knows? They're I mean, they're similar in that they're an open world where you can do a lot of stuff.
So here's what we'll do is once I get Skyrim and I get my fill and you finish Mario. Did you get a physical copy of Mario?
Yeah.
So then we can
trade, swap.
We'll swap and you can play Skyrim.
I'm still
if you care to play Skyrim on Switch.
I want to try it. I don't know that I necessarily want to play through it. I'm saving that for the VR version.
Yeah.
Which also came out.
Which is going to be cool.
Yeah, it's a full price game. I'm going to wait for that one to come down on price a little bit because I look, like you, I put a ton of hours into Skyrim originally when it came out. I went through all the DLCs and everything. And I've kind of like, I'm not ready to go approach that world, but the idea of doing it in VR seems like a whole new experience. So I'm really wanting to do it for that. The portability, it doesn't really do anything for me.
It does a lot for me.
Yeah. To be able to lay in bed and play or lay on or sit on the toilet.
Just wherever. There are so many places I can be that you would be like, you shouldn't be allowed to play a video game there. And I'm like, well, I just feel like I'm going to be living my best life.
Well,
once I have Skyrim on Switch.
Then what's the holdback then?
I think
Mr. Indecisive, just go get it.
You know, it's just because I'm indecisive about things like this. I wait and wait and wait. Like, you remember whenever all I talked about for a year was that they were going to re-release it on PS4. And I was like, the day it comes out. Yep. And still, I haven't bought it on PS4 because I bought other things on PS4.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Because by then I heard that they were
releasing it on the Switch.
And it might be coming out on that. And that just seemed like a cooler experience to me.
I think so.
I would love to get excited about the VR, but
if you want to go get it, you can use my Best Buy Gamers Club account.
The VR?
That'll get you 20% off of
or the Switch.
The Switch version.
I will take you up on that.
Yeah, you can get it for 48 instead of 60, which
I'll take
every little bit helps.
I would love to be excited about the VR, but the lazy eye and
the VR doesn't work for you.
It's a gamble. Anytime I put one of those on.
Well, how about I'm going to get it eventually. Yeah. When it drops in price, I will get it. And then when I get it, you can give it another shot and see what you think about virtual reality Skyrim. I'm super stoked to play it.
Maybe it'll be different playing VR with like a genre and a game that I'm actually into like something that actually resonates with me.
Yeah, I think you're right. It seems cool. I've watched videos of other people playing it, and it seems really cool. Like you can use the move controllers to shoot magic and use your sword and stuff. And that to me looks super cool. Like I played other games that allow you to do stuff like that, and it always feels good. But to be able to do that within the world of Skyrim and go wherever you want and kill all these enemies that you know and explore those caves and everything, it just seems like it would be really cool.
You might actually be able to like feel immersed in it.
Like actually immersed. I think Fallout might be something that I'm more drawn to than Skyrim. I like the world of Fallout a little bit more.
Yeah, and actually I am, for all the talking about Skyrim I've done, because I was so into that game, I'm actually a bigger Fallout fan than a Skyrim fan.
I think, here's how it comes down with those two games. Skyrim to me has a lot of possibilities, and there's a lot of variety in environments, enemies, areas, and it's a really beautiful game. Fallout doesn't really have the variety, but for some reason, well, at least with Fallout 3, that game really immersed me because of the music, the sound effects, you know, everything that went into drawing you into this world, it just worked really well.
Right. And I honestly, I think it's kind of comparing apples and oranges, and it comes down to, we've said it before and I'll say it again, I'm just kind of a Bethesda fanboy. Yeah. I'm biased. If it's Bethesda, I probably like it.
I've bought a lot of Bethesda games.
Shelby got me a Vault Boy bobblehead for my birthday.
Oh, nice.
Like one of the collectible bobbleheads.
That's really cool. Yeah. I would love to have one of those up here.
Yeah, she had asked me a while back. She was like, what are those little things that you collect on the game? And I explained to her the bobbleheads. I was like, they don't really do anything, but they kind of coincide with the different perks and skill trees that you use, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
She's like, well, which ones do you like? And I told her the ones that I liked, and Unarmed is one of the ones that I always...
I just like the regular one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She got me a keychain of the original logo.
Nice.
To go with the ball cap that she got me for our anniversary last year. And then she got me the Unarmed Combat bobblehead with his little fists up.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's neat.
That brings up a good point. Evil Within 2 is also a Bethesda game. And I found a Vault Boy bobblehead in the game.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was completely, I did not expect it. Sorry if I'm spoiling it for anybody, but it's a collectible apparently. And I was just walking through this house and I saw it sitting there. I was like, Amy, it's a Vault Boy. She's like, what?
That shouldn't be there.
What is that doing here? So I picked it up and yeah, sure enough, it was the Vault Head bobble thing and it put it in my house.
Say, Amy, that's a Fallout Boy.
A Fallout Boy. It should be called a Fallout Boy.
Just Patrick Stump. If you know who that is.
Patrick Starr.
Patrick Stump is the singer of the Fallout Boys.
Oh no, I didn't know that. I do like Fallout Boy, but not on
that level.
I don't know. Yeah, not on the level where I know who sings the song.
If you got on your Google, you could look up their bass player Pete Wentz. You could look up pictures of his penis.
Ooh!
Oh, I know. That's a collectible right there.
Can we hang that on my shelf?
That's something you shouldn't find in a darkened house either.
Well, yeah, I would like to hear your take on Skyrim. As far as like Mario Odyssey, I'm still collecting moons, but as soon as I get done, the only thing that worries me about Mario Odyssey is I don't know how it handles saved games.
Right.
So I don't like, all I know is that when I go into it, I don't pick a save file. It just throws me into the game. I click continue and I'm there. So I don't want to lose that. So I don't know if it's saved on my system or saved on the cart. I really don't know how that stuff works yet.
I think it saves to your system.
We're going to have to try that out before I loan it. I want to make sure I don't lose my data.
I'm pretty sure it saves to the system.
But I'm still collecting moons. I brought it with me to the in-laws and was playing it quite a bit, actually.
It would have to save to the system. Because if it was saving to the actual cartridge, there would be no need to buy an auxiliary SD card.
You're probably right, actually. Yeah, you might be right. That's a good point. That's something I need to look up. But or if anybody out there already knows, shoot me a message on Twitter. Let us know.
Let us know in the comments below.
That's right. So, I collected. I have up to like I think 320 moons right now.
Yeah,
and I think there's like 999 moons.
Woof.
A ridiculous amount. But it's so fun collecting these moons, man. I'm just having a blast trying to find these things. And there are some of them, there's a lot of them where I'm just like, it lays you out a map of this level that you're on, and it has a list of all the moons, and then the ones you don't have won't be there. It'll just be an empty number.
Right.
And so you have to go through and try to figure out, there's hints. There's a parrot that'll give you a hint. You can buy a hint from Toad. And yeah, so you just got to figure out where these things are, and it's fun to do. It really is. It's like it's like a scavenger hunt. And there's like, I don't know, 12 different worlds to explore and find these moons on. So I'm having a ton of fun with that game.
That's cool.
But still on the subject of the Switch, Black Friday just happened, and I kind of picked up a crap ton of games. I don't have them yet. I ordered them all online because I want to give away some secrets for that I always use for Black Friday shopping.
Yeah.
I don't like to get out and fight crowds and go to stores because, you know, that's bad. Nobody wants to do that.
No.
You know, I've done it before. I've done it once before and said never again. I'm not doing that.
I've only done it once before myself.
Yeah.
And that was when I...
Where did you go? What store?
GameStop.
Oh, really?
And I bought Fallout New Vegas for PC.
Oh, okay. Wow.
It was when it first come out.
So did you have to wait in a big long line to get in there, or what?
No, we showed up, I don't know, 4 a.m.
Oh,
and like
man.
the crowd had dissipated.
Wow.
They did like a 24-hour open. I don't know if GameStop always does that or not. But
I don't know.
That year, because we got out at midnight. I remember.
And there was like huge line.
And we got out at midnight and went to like Walmart and a couple different GameStops and, you know, Best Buy, and like just kind of hung out and hit a few different places, checked out some lines, checked out some sales, stuff like that. And by the time we made it to the GameStop over in Mustang, which you know where
Mustang's a small town, and so I can imagine those.
Mustang is right next to my hometown of Yukon.
And I can imagine that one, if you wanted to go at a GameStop, go to a small town GameStop. Well, actually, I've got a good Black Friday story too. A couple of them. Amy one year, and I think I've told this on the podcast. You can correct me if I'm not, but I'll tell it again. When I got my Vita, she actually got that for me for my birthday, because my birthday is in December. It's on December 4th. So Black Friday is always good. If she could get a good game deal for my birthday, she does. Well, that year I really wanted a Vita. And GameStop had them on sale for like $50 off or something like that. And it was the white Vita, and I really wanted that white Vita. It was just sexy, you know.
Something about it.
Yeah. And it came with an Assassin's Creed game, which was also real appealing to me. So she told me that she was going to go get that for me. And I was like, okay, great. Yeah, right. Whatever. I didn't think she actually would. She did. That night, she said, okay, I'm going to go wait in line to get your Vita for your birthday. She let me know ahead of time, I guess. She wasn't going to surprise me. I don't do surprises, and she knows this. So I was like, heck yeah, okay, great. Yeah, let's do it. She goes out there and waits in line, made friends with the people around her. You know how Amy is. She's very social. And she waited there for a couple hours, picked up my Vita. It was funny. She told me when she got there, she was probably, I don't know, 15 in line or something. And everybody else was there to buy other things like PlayStation 4s or whatever. I don't remember what. This was several years ago. And they only had like 2 or 3 Vitas, and she was the only person to buy a Vita. That shows you how like not popular the Vita was. Right. They had an awesome deal on the Vita, and yet nobody was buying them. And she was concerned that she wouldn't be able to get one because they didn't have very many. But surely enough, they got one. And dude, that was been probably one of my most memorable birthday gifts. And I still play that thing to this day. So she hooks me up. She knows what I like.
She's your plug.
Just like Shelby, I guess, with hooking you up with all your little knickknacks and stuff.
She knows I like a good collectible. She knows.
Spouses are great for that, man.
Yeah, a couple times a year she'll hook me up with some sort of Fallout or Skyrim or Legend of Zelda themed collectibles, because those are kind of my like big 3.
Yeah. So I tell Amy the same thing. I'm like,
Star Wars. She gets me a lot of Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh, I can't wait for that movie. Anyway, not to change subject, but she always asks me, what do you want for your birthday? What do you want for Christmas? Like, nothing. You know, I usually just say nothing. But she's not going to just not give me anything. So she'll say, what do you want? It's like, I really don't know. I mean, nothing. So she'll just surprise me. She is so good at finding something that I normally wouldn't buy for myself.
Right.
But something that I would still think is super cool, and she'll get it for me, and it ends up being like last year for Christmas, she got me like Arcade Block or something like that, which is a loot box basically, or loot crate that has video game related stuff in it. And I got a lot of t-shirts
like a real life loot crate.
Yeah.
Not like this EA garbage.
We keep going back to that, don't we? We'll get to there. We'll get to it.
There's a fire inside of me about the whole thing.
Well, she got me that loot box for 3 months, and that was really cool. I like some of this came out of that.
Parupa
the Fupa. I got several nice t-shirts. Actually, this is one of the t-shirts I got.
You know, I've seen you wear that shirt a few times, and I've been like, that's so random. He's got this Battle of the Bands shirt, and it didn't occur to me until about 5 minutes ago that it has the Rock Band Rivals logo on it.
I love the design of this shirt. I really do.
Yeah, it's cool.
And I wouldn't have bought this thing on my own, but hey, it came in a loot crate or whatever, so I'll buy it or wear it.
I think all of my gaming t-shirts were once Loot Crate t-shirts that ended up at the thrift store.
Oh yeah, like that Overwatch one you brought me. I love that shirt. I still wear the heck out of that. Yeah. So anyway, back on the Black Friday thing, that was her story. My story was one year I went to Walmart. They had a bunch of good sales on video games, and I wanted to go there and get those video games. I get to Walmart, walk in. I'm there with my sister and my dad, and they're there to get other things, you know. And it was shoulder to shoulder all the way through the entire store. It was ridiculous. You could not walk anywhere.
Just people
All
swimming.
I wanted to do was... The lines were actually moving pretty quick. They had all the registers open, and they were moving people out of there pretty quick. So I finally make my way. And when I say make my way, I mean like
downtown. You
got to shove your way through.
Walking fast. Faces pass.
Yeah, and like shoving through people. You can't like just kind of shimmy shammy. You got to actually like shove your way through. You see why fights happen, because somebody might get pissed off that somebody shoved them
the wrong way.
Yeah. It's like, no, dude, I shoved you because there's nowhere else to go. I have to get, you know, whatever. I get back to the games and I see all the games and I see, oh yeah, there's the game I want. There's the game I want. There's the game I want. Look back up front. Crap. How am I going to get back up there? And I see the line and it's moving relatively quickly. And I was like, it's not worth it. Fished my way back to the front of the store, got out of there, and just left. Went back the following morning. All the games that I wanted were still there, and I was still able to get them on actually Friday and not Thursday night.
Yeah.
And so my lesson learned there was don't do Black Friday.
People just get out for that shit, like for the sport of it.
It seems like it. Or the doorbusters.
The doorbusters stuff is, I mean, that's... People get with that, I suppose.
It's not worth it to me. No doorbuster is worth putting up with that. So what I learned after that experience was all of these retailers now list their Black Friday sales on their websites, and they usually do it at midnight Thursday.
Yeah.
So if you get on like Wednesday night, let's say for this year, for instance, I already knew what I wanted, and I know what I wanted them from. Who had the best deals? There was 4 games that I wanted from Best Buy. There was 1 game I wanted from Walmart. So what I did is I logged into their websites, put all the items that I want in my cart. When midnight hit, I hit refresh on my browser several times until it popped up. And also following Wario64 on Twitter. He posts exactly when those sales go live, so you can also do it there.
Yeah.
So the Walmart sale actually went live like at 11:30 Wednesday night. So I was able to get Mario and the Rabbids game on the Switch.
Have you played it yet?
No, I don't have it yet.
You ordered it.
Yeah, okay. I ordered it. It should be coming. It said by Friday, so we'll see. But I ordered that through Walmart. It was $30, which was a good deal. That's half off of the regular price. So I was trying to take advantage of the Switch games because Nintendo typically doesn't drop in price. That's another thing you should know. And you should probably already do know. If Nintendo games go on sale and you want it, buy it. If you have the money, buy it. Otherwise,
the price will come back up.
The price will go back up, and it will stay up, and you'll have to wait till next Black Friday to get it again. So I ended up getting Rabbids, and then at midnight I had Disgaea 5 on the Switch. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 on the Switch. Both games were $20 each, which is killer deals.
Yeah.
I got...
Your Switch collection's beefing up.
It's going to, yeah. Now that Black Friday helped out quite a bit with that. I got Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. Have you heard of this one?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I had the original Insane Trilogy.
Well, you have all 3 games? I
have all the PS1 version of it.
Okay, yeah. So I do too, but...
And I still forgot to bring you those PS2 demos.
We'll get it some other time.
That little tin that I bought you.
The little Zelda tin?
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah, I bought that for $0.25.
At a thrift store?
No. There's a store over in the city called Basket Market.
Oh, okay.
And it's like where Hobby Lobby, like, the people that work, like, where Hobby Lobby projects go to die, basically.
Oh.
Like when they have, like, overstock or stuff that got made... You know, to go on shelves, like just like random stuff that you would find in Hobby Lobby.
So it's like an outlet store then.
Kinda.
Yeah.
And they had a little display and like I saw like out of the corner of my eye at the end of this shelf, I saw Yoshi's nose sticking out from behind a pillow. I was like, what?
What's going on
like
over there?
A cardboard thing. And I go and move these pillows and there's these little like Nintendo boxes with like like impulse buy stuff
Yeah.
that they would have like up at the counter of like weird little like Nintendo kitschy stuff, and they had those. They had 2 of those Link tins left, and they were $1 a piece, so I bought both of them.
Well, yeah.
Because I was like, I want one of these, and I was like, I want to give Adrian one of these. And Shelby's like, what are you gonna do with these? And I was like, I don't know, something. Go away.
It's $0.25.
Right. And then they had like the Mario punching blocks, like from the video game.
Yeah.
And they came with like stickers to put on the blocks and like little Mario candies inside, but those had all been opened and people had like cleaned them out and like peeled the stickers off the outsides of them, so they were just kind of garbage. I almost just asked if I could buy the display though, because I had
that'd
like
be cool.
Mario and Yoshi like jumping opposite directions.
Yeah.
And had like the Switch logo. Like, it was neat, but it was kind of beat up too.
Yeah.
But I found my treasure.
I found. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
I saw the picture of it. Anyway, so I forgot what I was talking about. The
Crash Bandicoot.
It is Bandicoot. It is the remastered first 3 games on the PS1.
Yeah, and they released it in the PlayStation Network.
Yeah, it's also.
I think physical. We talked about this a few episodes ago.
Have we?
Yeah.
Well, I went ahead and
we were debating the difference between a reboot and a remake.
Did we talk about Crash then?
Yes.
Oh, I don't remember. Okay, so I ended up picking that up because I really want to play through those games, and I've been watching people play them on Twitch. And the remastered, the new graphics look amazing in this game.
Yeah, they look cool.
I would say this is a remake, not a remaster. Yeah, I do remember talking about this now.
You said that then.
Yeah. Okay. So I ended up picking that up for $25, and then I got Nier Automata or or however you say it. This game has been on my radar. It came out back in like February, March.
Did you ever play the demo on PlayStation Network?
Yeah, I loved it.
Which was solid. And I'm usually not into games like that. Yeah. It was super like Japanese.
It is.
Slash
but the amount of action and stuff that was going on in that demo was incredible.
It's got a lot of weight to it. Like the energy feels good in it.
It does. And I was super pumped to play that, and but for whatever reason I didn't get around to buying it. Actually, I was waiting for a price drop. That game has never dropped in price. I think the cheapest that I've ever seen it before Black Friday was probably $35 at Best Buy one time, and I still didn't buy it on it just because. So anyway, it dropped to 25, and I was like, I'm finally gonna bite the bullet and get this one. And yeah, I'm actually really pumped to play that game. I keep hearing so many people talk about how great it is. I loved the demo, just like,
universally praised.
Yeah. So
I've not heard anyone speak ill of that game.
I'm super pumped to play that. I also got, and actually it sounds like I bought a lot, but I think I spent a grand total of like $130. And this is money that I had saved actually.
Like for Black Friday.
Actually, it was a gift from Amy. She gave me $150 for Black Friday for my birthday. I was like, okay.
That's a good birthday gift.
So I picked all those up. I also ended up getting Neo. Have you heard of that one?
I've heard of it.
It's like a Dark Souls-ish game.
Yeah, like Vikings, right?
No, it's like samurais and stuff like that. It's like a feudal Japan.
Okay.
But
because you wouldn't play it if it was Vikings. We established that last time.
Vikings don't do it for me, man. They just don't.
Those are bad guys.
They are. But this game is a lot of people harken it back to Dark Souls, so that in and of itself is what makes me want to play it. That game dropped to 20. It didn't drop in price previous to this point either, and it came out at the same time as Nier. So yeah, I'm pumped to play that one. And last but not least, I also got Wolfenstein 2.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm super pumped to want to play that one. I thoroughly enjoyed the first one. The storyline, the gameplay, everything about it was really good. This one seems like it is in the same vein, but they say a lot of people are saying the storyline is better and a lot of like shocking things that happen. So I really want to play through it. I'm a sucker for story in games. So
oh yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I got a lot to talk about over the course of the next several episodes. I'm buying these games for the JABGcast.
You know, I've been thinking about that. Sometimes I wonder if there's games that we both want to play that we know we won't get on and play together, if we should start splitting the cost of them.
and buying,
and
sharing,
then taking turns on them.
or I buy them anyway for my
You
collection.
buy them anyway. I'll just keep mooching off you.
Yeah, Wolfenstein. Yeah, I know as badly as I want to get into it. I know that as soon as those Switch games come here, I'm going to be playing those. So, yeah, take that, play through it. Let me know what you think, and then I'll play through it.
I'm excited to play through it.
Give my opinion.
I'm very excited. I was going to go rent it, but since you bought it.
Oh, I got another game, actually.
What?
Shadow of War.
What?
So, Wario64 tweeted out that that Walmart had the digital deluxe version of Shadow of War for $10. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get on that. So I got on there and bought it immediately.
And that's Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, the brand new one. And then a little bit later, I was like, oh, it was a price error, and they corrected it. Like, it was literally a price error for like a window of maybe 5 minutes, and I managed to get it. Did they honor it? Yeah, if they fulfilled it, I already have it downloaded on my system.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is there like a continuity thing with why they keep naming their games Shadow of something?
Because of the ghost, the spirit that is part of you, I'm assuming.
Because I was really into Lord of the Rings when I was younger, and I played all the movie games that came out on like PS2. And then Shadow of Mordor came out, and I was like, damn, that looks like a good game. And I never played it. And then Shadow of War came out, and I was like, damn, that looks like a good game. And I don't know anything about those two games other than they're both. Are those two games contiguous of one another?
Yeah. Like, okay, I briefly started Shadow of War, and it is a direct continuation of the first game.
Okay. Oh, well, then that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So, and actually, Shadow of Mordor is super cheap right now. If you can manage to pick that one up, that game I think you would love. It is a open world game that is a ton of fun to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not dissimilar to like an Assassin's Creed or something.
I can get behind that. I'm not a fan of the Assassin's Creed series, though.
Oh.
I'll say it now.
Then maybe not. I mean, it's very much like an Assassin's Creed.
If it's like an open world, battle type game, I'm generally into it. Something about Assassin's Creed specifically never really resonated with me. So, I
mean, when I say it's like Assassin's Creed, I mean, you have this huge open world, you go to these different towers, overlook it, and then it gives you all these objectives to go to. You go do them while still progressing the story. That's what I mean.
It sounds worth checking out. Assassin's Creed always just felt very repetitive to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it could be done. I could be considered repetitive. Yeah, but I mean, what game isn't at that point,
True.
You have something you do and your gameplay generally doesn't change.
That's a very valid point.
So, yeah, if you could pick Shadow of Mordor up for like $5, do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's gone down to that price
on the
point
PlayStation
several
Network,
times.
see
yeah, like actually it might be down that low right now for Black Friday sales.
Because their Black Friday sale doesn't end until sometime tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
like 11 o'clock tomorrow night or something.
Yeah, I would pick it up if you want. I mean, it's a good game. But anyway, Black Friday, I've got all of my games, and Disgaea 5 actually sold out very quickly, and a lot of people on the forums were talking about how upset they were that they weren't able to get it. But because I put it in my cart ahead of time, and all the other games in my cart ahead of time, as soon as those prices went live, I was able to hit the checkout button and be done.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a good tactic.
And yeah, that's a great tactic that people should take advantage of, especially on Black Friday. If you want to avoid the craziness that is, the only downfall is I have to wait until the end of this week to get them.
Right.
Yeah. If you can wait a week to get your games, then that's the way to do it. I would rather wait a week to get my games than fight the crowds of people at the stores.
The only real shopping I did over the weekend was to buy a couple Christmas gifts for Shelby and the kids.
Yeah.
Shelby,
well, that's another thing. It works for that stuff too. I bought Christmas gifts that way too,
Shelby had these little toys when she was a kid that she told me about that were like her favorites. That she doesn't have anymore. And she's like, man, I wish I had them so Tilly could play with them as she grows up. And I searched all over online and found a seller with these original toys on eBay, and bought her out of stock with these toys.
Nice.
And they should be here tomorrow.
What are they?
They were these toys called
are they doll
tea bunnies? Little.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Where they have like the little ears with the hats.
Yeah. Do they have the little fuzzy skin on them?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this is we shouted out Tom Cruise, my wife's boss,
Yeah.
last week on here. And if he's listening, hush. Don't you tell her.
Oh, she doesn't know.
She doesn't know.
Okay.
Yeah, she was
How are you going to get it in the mail without her knowing?
I told her, if you get a box on the front porch, don't even go outside to look at it. Go to the back of the house and call me immediately. And she said, what are you expecting? And I said, hopefully not a bomb. So
my wife could not do that with me. I am one of those people who I hate surprises, man. I'm going to
You're
look.
going to open that box.
I'm going to look.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to make it look like I didn't.
You're going to tape it all back together?
Yeah.
You're a shithead.
I am.
Yeah. She had told me about these toys a while back, and she's like, yeah, they were so cute and I loved them. And I wish that they were still around so I could, let Tilly and, Malone would probably be into them. He's into everything. If it's a toy, he likes it. And I was like, shit, I'm going to see if I can find these things. I found a seller on eBay that had a handful of them, and I bought them up.
That's an ultimate surprise. If she's told you something like that and you were able to remember and find them.
She's mentioned it a few times since we had Tilly.
Yeah.
That she wished that they were still around.
That's really cool, man.
I spent months looking for the right ones.
She's going to get a kick out of that. That's really cool. I'd like to hear her reaction to that.
She'll probably be like, oh, that's neat. She's pretty reserved like that.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. Yeah.
I know you are. I've done a lot of cool shit in front of this guy, and he's like,
no, really?
No. I've never done anything cool in front of you. You kidding me?
That right there.
Oh,
I told him, I was like, man, I hope I gave the right response for that.
He gave me a big reaction when I gave him the original NES.
Dude, that was a super cool,
fully intact packaging.
Yeah.
And the owner guide manual shit.
That was honestly
set.
Like the coolest gift ever. I had no idea that you would give it to me. Like, yes, I was ecstatic. Still am. As like one of my prized pieces in my collection right now. Seriously.
And it looks good sitting up there.
It does. It's where it will stay until I get another house to display it elsewhere. Yeah, so anyway.
We tried to go Black Friday shopping at Lowe's. Because like I said, we're redoing the bathroom, and I thought maybe I could get a good deal on a new bathroom cabinet.
Not a bad idea.
I couldn't find anything we wanted. Fat Big got to acting up a bit in Lowe's though. He told Shelby he needed to go to the restroom. So she took him, she's like, well, I'll take him in the women's restroom. So she takes him in there, and he walks in and goes, what are we doing in here? She goes, you said you had to pee. And he goes, I don't. so she brings him back out, and I was like, well, I got to go to the restroom. So
why didn't you take him?
She was already like on the way with him. And by the time they came out, I was like, well, we're here. I might as well. I don't want to have to change my diaper later. So he was like, well, hold on, I'm going to go with you. I was like, all right. So I take him in there, and there's 3 urinals, and there's 2 old men on the end urinals. Like, it starts to march right up to the middle one. And I was like, dude, that is the splash zone. There's etiquette to this shit. Get back here, homie. So I pull him back, and I was like, we're just going to go inside of this stall here.
Yeah.
So we go in the stall, and I put his back against the door, and I was like, put your hands in front of your chest and don't touch anything.
Dude, oh man. I got stuff to talk about on this. I'm sorry.
And he was like, okay. So he stands there, and I'm about to use the restroom, and he goes, woof. I look at him, and he's covering his mouth with his shirt, and he can't say the word smells. He says pales. And he says, pale white kunks. And I said, what? And he goes, pale white kunks in here. And I said, what do skunks smell like? And he goes, and there's like men in this restroom, like listening to my son, like
tell them how bad they stink,
ramp off about how bad they smell. And then he looks under the stall, and there's a guy 2 stalls down doing his business. And Malone goes, who is that? Whose shoes are those? Hey, whose shoes are those? And I said, those are that man's shoes. And he goes, I like your shoes. And this man's just quiet. And at this point, he knows we're addressing him. So he's like clenching, he doesn't want this 3-year-old to hear him.
Yeah.
And so then we just hear this. Malone goes, did he just toot? And I said, yes. Hush. And he goes, is he tooting in there? I said, yes, Malone. And he goes, is he pooping and peeing? I said,
at the same time?
yes, Malone. And he goes, is he going to wipe? I said, yeah, buddy. And he goes, are you going to wipe him? I said, Malone, hush. Stop it. So I finish and we go to wash our hands. And there's this old man that flushes the urinal at the end of the restroom and turns towards the door. And Malone goes, hi. And the old man turns and looks at him and he goes, did you wash your hands? And the old man goes, oh. And walks over and washes his hands and turns to Malone and goes, good catch. And Malone goes, no problem.
Dude, I don't even know. I'm lucky in that usually Owen doesn't talk a lot whenever I mean he does, but he's not talking about other people. And I can usually shush him and he'll usually get the point pretty quick.
Nah, shushing Malone, that's just turning on challenge mode. That's all it is. Like hanging out with him when he's being good is like starting a game like on normal.
Yeah.
You know, and you start to really get a feel for it. You feel like you're really doing good. You know, you're got muscle memory on the controls. So you get a little cocky and turn it to like expert mode.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you try to shush Malone in public. He turns on expert mode and it is fucking game on.
Well, on the bathroom subject, what I've noticed with taking Owen to the bathroom in a public restroom, men's restrooms are disgusting.
They're gross, man.
They're disgusting. They always are, you know, there's always piss all over the floor or all over the seat. There's usually, you know, crap on the seat too.
It's like walking into a room built of the undersides of shoes.
Yeah. And
it's just disgusting.
Gross. And
there is nowhere safe.
Nobody lifts the seat when they take a piss and no, nobody does. And it drives me nuts. I do every time. I have to. Even if the seat's disgusting, I will grab some toilet paper or something and still raise that seat because I'm not going to be that guy who pisses on the seat. I just don't.
Right.
And so whenever I go into a bathroom, take him with me, he still has to sit because he's not tall enough to be able to stand up and, you know, go into the, you know, the toilet. He needs a stool. Well, you're not going to get a stool in a public bathroom.
I pull Malone's pants. We go in the stall and I pull his pants down.
Yeah.
And then I pick him up and I put him in like push-up position between the handrails.
Okay.
Where he's across the stall and like a claw machine or like a 3D printer, just like position him over the toilet.
So I guess I don't have that kind of skill or you know, I haven't gone that far, but he always pulls his pants down and he's always standing in a puddle of piss when he does it. So his pants are touching other people's. Yes. So this has happened a couple times and I'm like, dude, you got to wait for me to pull your pants down because we're going to go do it over here, you know, and it sucks. So anyway, he gets pee on his pants, other people's pee on his pants. And then I'm trying to wipe down the seat and everything so he can sit down on it. And then he sits down on it. But before I'm doing that, he's already got his hands on the seat and he's on touching everything. It. Yes, he's touching everything, trying to figure out, you know, how he's going to do this. And so he's touching the seat. I get it all cleaned off. I sit him down on there. And then he has to scoot all the way up to the front. Well, maybe I didn't clean the inside of the lip of the seat. So his little junk is touching that. I was like, no, no, dude. I feel like I have to give him like a freaking bath every time we get out of a public restroom. And so as soon as we get done, I help him pull up his piss pants up. We go to the sink and I try to wash his arms, his hands, you know, his face if I need to. I don't know. And who knows what he touched his face to?
Did you kiss anything in there?
And so it's like this. I'd say 90% of the time when we go to a public restroom, it's just I cannot find a clean public restroom to be able to put him in. There's either piss on the floor or piss on the seat or both, and there's no getting around it, and it sucks. That is one of the struggles to deal with when having kids. But anyway, we've brought it up several times, and we still haven't talked about it. The EA and loot box debacle.
EA loot boxes, microtransactions, all that good stuff. I think it's now that we've got all of our funny Black Friday stories out of the way. That was another thing. Was I was on my final little bout of online Black Friday shopping. I was like, maybe I'll buy Battlefront 2. This is a good time for me to look back on episodes past and all of my amped up garbage about it. Day one purchase, and go ahead and eat crow. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in the way that all of it's been handled. Also, the fact that this loot box thing has become like an actual, like, I don't know, almost conspiracy about whether or not it's considered gambling. Have you heard about this?
So, yes.
What camp are you in on this?
It's gambling, but it's always been gambling. With any game that does this loot box stuff, pay to win, that's gambling.
Right.
And Overwatch is guilty of it too.
Because you can buy the loot boxes.
You can buy the loot boxes.
And you don't know what's going to be in them. Okay, so I think it's the ESA, which is the governing body that created the ESRB.
Which is the rating system for the games.
They got involved because, I mean, people were coming from all over the place.
Yeah.
With these allegations that it's gambling, it's unfair. Like, you could spend X amount of dollars on it and get nothing more than a skin.
Yeah.
Whereas somebody else could spend a fraction of that and get some sort of, like, legendary weapon.
Or say in the case of like Overwatch, where there is a specific skin that you want for a specific favorite character, the chances of you getting that are like so slim to none. Like, because
the fact is, if they would just open up a store with all this stuff, people would spend the same money on it.
Exactly. I agree.
So they came forward with, I'll just go ahead and read this quote from them. Saying, loot boxes are a voluntary feature in certain video games that provide players with another way to obtain virtual items that can be used to enhance their in-game experiences. They are not gambling. They say it direct. They do not consider it gambling. Depending on the game design, some loot boxes are earned and others can be purchased. In some games, they have elements that help a player progress through the video game. In others, they are optional features and are not required to progress or succeed in the game. In both cases, the gamer makes the decision. Now, because the gamer makes the decision, does that mean if you go to, the casino,
you make that decision,
and you make the decision to go and play, and you win, $500 on a quarter, and your buddy plays $25 and wins $50,
yeah,
and it's an unlevel playing ground right there, but you both made a decision. So is that no longer gambling?
Yeah. No, that is, when you were reading that, I was thinking garbage the whole way through. I can't believe the ESA would even say something like that.
There are actually territories, like nations, that have started outlawing loot boxes and microtransactions. Like
Europe, or is it the UK? Somewhere over there.
I just read it here. Representatives from the state of Hawaii are pushing. Belgium has outlawed it. I mean, so it's even on a legal level, the issue is split.
It shouldn't be. I mean, it is, to me, it's clearly gambling. I mean, I don't see any problem with being able to win that stuff through gameplay. Like Overwatch does let you do. Yeah, it takes a long time because with each level, you get a loot box, basically. And it takes quite a while to get up there, but it's still
right.
It's still, achievable.
Oh, I misspoke. The entities that are introducing anti-loot box legislation are saying that it can't be to minors.
Okay.
Because basically loot boxes and all that are still an optional feature, but cannot be accessible to people that are not of gambling age.
How would you prohibit that? That would be really, really hard.
That's the hard part about governing something like that. Is like, in-game loot boxes where it's based on your performance and based on your level, where the game gives you this, you completed this challenge, here's your loot box. That's not gambling. That's a mystery
box awarded for your new level.
Right. It's like a mystery trophy.
And you're not going to risk breaking the bank.
Right. But they're cracking down on the sale of loot boxes and other like miscellaneous items like that,
Yeah.
where you're not actually choosing, where you're not actually shopping,
Right.
they're trying to crack down on prohibiting that to minors.
Yeah, they'll never be able to do that. I mean, that's just impossible. They can't just sit there and say, hey, you know, unless the parents are putting like parental controls on their systems, which most people don't. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, you can't limit that stuff, and there's just no way. But on that same note, I mean, I think that if you want to pay for specific items in a game, say Overwatch, for instance, again, if you want a specific skin or something and you want to pay $5-10 for that skin, that's your prerogative. Go ahead and do that. You know, do whatever you want. But
if you know what you're getting, you know,
but if you pay for $10 worth of loot boxes and you never get what you want, that's crap.
That's a bummer.
That's crap. I mean, that is gambling. You are gambling at that point. Yes. You are gambling to get what you want. And I mean, maybe if you could like trade experience points or something for it, it'd be different. It'd still be gambling, but at least you're not spending actual money. Yeah, and I think Overwatch does do that. I think you can spend. You have like an in-game currency that you can spend on that stuff, but still, I mean, the currency levels are so high and it's so hard to get at. And you can buy, you know, you got to buy more currency to afford. Or even that, like, can you buy currency and not loot boxes in Overwatch? Last I played it, you could pretty well do that in most games. I don't know if Overwatch has changed that or not, but going back to Battlefront with this loot box stuff, like when I was playing through EA Access, early access with it, the skins and the extra characters really meant nothing to me, so I didn't really explore that aspect of the game. I still think the game is fantastic. I still love the game. It's really fun to play. But I am seeing where other people are saying that it's a pay to win and that you can pay for these boxes and you can get items that quickly give you access to like a hero right at the beginning of the game. So you can go through and wipe out an entire team and heavily sway the momentum of the battle in your favor, in your team's favor. Exactly. So you're essentially paying to win. So something like that should not be included in a game. You should not be able to have a feature to where in-game items that you purchase can sway the game. Well, it should all be cosmetic. In my opinion. The point is, it's a game. Yeah, it's a what is it? An esport? Would that be? So it's a game. It's a competitive arena, online arena. Yes, that people are getting on to showcase their skill. But if you get on there and you know that somebody already has an advantage over you because they put up the money, what's the point? Exactly. Right. There's no point. And it makes that aspect of the game no fun to play. I mean, I'm not going to get on a game and play where I know I'm going to lose every time because somebody else is paying for money. Like, it's just crap. And they should have never, ever implemented that. Other games in the past... It was just a cash grab. Yeah, it is. It was an incentivized cash grab. Yeah. And if you want this game to have legs and longevity and people to continue playing it, just make it... That is such a stupid choice. Make it a good game based around, like, good, like... hearty, tangible rewards. And if I want to put money into this game for skins or whatever, like say I want an orange stormtrooper or something, cosmetic, all cosmetic. You know, I want to put like decals on my helmet or something. That should be the stuff that you pay real money for, not game changing things. And that's where Overwatch gets it right. Because they don't, I mean, everything in that game that you pay for is purely cosmetic. So, I mean, really, we're not, I was going to say, you know, like, give our final word on it, but I think our final word is everybody's final word on it. It's just kind of heinous. It's crap. It's ridiculous. And the fact that they took it away, yeah, okay, great. You know, they for those that don't know, EA, there was such an uproar over this, you know, these loot boxes that EA actually took down the ability to purchase them. Yeah. For a, you know, unsaid amount of time. They're gonna bring them back. I know because they said temporary. Well, and I think the people that had already bought stuff got to keep it anyway, right? Well, I'm sure. Or were reimbursed. I don't know how they I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure they get to keep it. But and they also reduced the cost of like Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader. They were like 75,000 points or whatever the in-game currency, which some people figured to be like, if you were to just do it through in-game hours, it's like 40 hours worth of gameplay.
Yeah, it was practically unattainable unless like
unless you pay for it.
Yeah.
So at that point, they reduced the cost down to 15,000 in-game points, which is a lot more attainable. But even still, locking characters like that beyond to a point that, you know, nobody's going to attain it through actual gameplay. That is such shady, you know, crap.
It's just bad business. And it ruins the community on it. You know,
everybody was excited for Star Wars.
And now everybody's talking.
Now this game is going to bomb. It's going to tank, all because of their stupid decisions. What I'm hoping happens as a result of this is other companies, EA. I don't know if EA will learn the lesson, because they've always been, you know, really crummy with, you know, microtransactions. So I'm thinking that other companies are going to take note of what happened here, and, you know, take steps to not make this happen in the future, because this is garbage. You took a perfectly great game that I was hugely into, and I'm still am. I want to play some Battlefront. I really do. I want to play that game, and I want to be able to get in there and play an evenly matched game in a space war and have fun doing it. Now I'm at the point where, like, I love the, you know, last episode you heard how much I talked about those space battles. Those are so fun, spaceship battles. But if it's a pay to win thing and I can't win,
come on.
Why? What's the point? I don't want to do that. Like, I'll just play through the story and be done with it. And so, yeah, I'm glad that they took them away. At this point, I think they should take it a step further and make it to where there aren't items that increase your chances of winning in a game.
Right.
That stuff should be done away with. Perfect. Honestly, altogether.
Because it should be about the skill.
It's all about skill,
and not about what you bought.
I want to go back to the Halo 2 days, where, you know, the Halo days where you were good because you were good, you know, and your team won because you had the skills and you guys worked together well as a team. Nobody was paying extra money to get special abilities or whatever. So anyway, I guess our take is, you know, down with microtransaction, down with loot boxes, down with gambling in video games.
Down with gambling in video games. It's, yeah. That's a good final word on it. Down with gambling on video games.
With that, man, actually, we have a beer today.
We're drinking a beer tonight. It's been a minute.
It has been a long minute.
And guess what, Coop? We're back at it. Always with the Coop. We're always coming back.
Yeah. And Ryan brought a spare rib pale ale from Coop.
Yeah.
And it's got this really cool illustration of two skeletons.
Well,
male and a female.
Yeah, the illustration is that it's a male skeleton giving his rib to the female skeleton who is holding an apple. So it's a play on the Adam and Eve thing.
Yeah. Is that what the two is that a Bible verse
on his hat? I think that's the Bible verse, maybe, about the Adam giving his rib to Eve. Maybe. I've actually never picked apart the label as much. I drink this beer all the time. This is one of the standards I keep in my fridge.
This is a good beer. I've never had it before. It
is a pale ale, not quite an IPA, because it's hard to have a true IPA, because this is actually a gas station beer. It's 4 points on the alcohol by volume, as opposed to their heavier 6 to 8 point offerings.
Right.
But it is a late hopped ale, so the hops in it are a bit more present, a bit more forward, because they're not as meshed into the rest of the brew.
Okay.
They use 2 different hops in it, Columbus and Amarillo hops. You know, it's, like I said, it's a gas station pale ale with, you know, just a little higher than your normal 3 point alcohol content. That
we live in Oklahoma, so what gas station beer to us is a lower point beer. If you want higher point beer in Oklahoma, you have to go to a liquor store to buy it
before 9 o'clock Monday through Saturday,
and it's always warm. You have to put it in.
You have to put it in the fridge. That will change next year, though.
Next year, that'll all change.
Liquor stores will get coolers.
Yeah, but when we refer to a gas station beer, that is typically you won't find any craft beers at a gas station around here,
and that is what Coop did here. Was they created the spare rib, the briefcase brown, and the negative split.
Yeah.
Spare rib is a pale ale. Briefcase Brown is obviously a brown ale, and the Negative Split, I think, is a traditional Kolsch or Pilsner style, I want to say. And they even say it on the can, you know, share this gas station beer. They created these 3 beers for gas stations and grocery stores so you could have access to a good craft beer without having to worry about the liquor store.
So my immediate reaction when I first tasted this stuff, I didn't know that what you just said previously to drinking this. The first thing I noticed immediately, being a Coop usually has a very strong alcohol content, and you can feel it, you can taste it immediately. I didn't have it with this beer, but it still had a good flavor. Had a kind of for a pale ale, I felt like it had a real lightweight, kind of good, but still good flavor about it. But you can definitely tell the alcohol is not there. So when I said that, Ryan, you know, let me know, you know, this is the gas station beer. I was like, oh, okay, makes sense.
Right.
That is a good way to make their beer more accessible, you know, to people outside of the liquor stores.
We would have to drink 3 of these to match 2.
And I'm okay with that. Beers. I'm okay with that. Yeah. Like I've been more attracted to the lighter weight beers or lesser alcohol content.
You can
beers.
have a good time for a longer time.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
I tend to be a bit marathon in my drinking.
Yes, me too.
And we've been a bad influence on each other many times in the past, where one drink turned into one more drink.
And then we have to wait a few hours before we can go home after recording.
Yes. Yeah.
In my stand,
eat cold pizza on a dark couch.
But I mean, honestly, this is a really good craft beer. And
it is. It holds up.
Now that you've introduced me to this is something that, like, if I'm wanting to have a beer and it's after liquor store hours, I know that I can go run to 7-Eleven and pick one of these up or something.
Yeah.
If it's available at 7-Eleven, I don't know.
Some 7-Elevens.
I usually stay, honestly, I didn't even know about this because when I go to the gas station, I don't even go to the beer section because I know there's not going to be anything there that I want to drink.
Yeah.
So I don't even bother. But knowing that this is there now, that's kind of a game changer for me. Cool deal. Well, good on you, Coop. I really like this beer.
And in your own community, you could probably give Coop Ale in Oklahoma City. You could probably give them a call and ask them which gas stations in your community are carrying. That's
a good point,
because they still do the representation out of their own warehouse.
They might even say on their website. I know a lot of breweries on the website will let you know.
Because I know one 7-Eleven over in Yukon does carry them, and then the one closer to my house doesn't.
Yeah.
But then there's a little independently owned gas station just around from my house.
Yeah.
That does. So it's kind of hit or miss, but it's worth finding one close enough that you know that if you're ever in a pinch or want a beer outside of those liquor store hours, or just want something a bit lighter weight that's still going to taste good and hold up against your other craft brews, it's just good to have that in your pocket.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Once again, good on you, Coop. You keep on doing it.
Yeah. For all of you outside of Oklahoma, this is one of the best local breweries I think we have, in my personal opinion.
I think we've probably reviewed more Coop on this show than anything else.
Yeah. I don't think they're one of the major ones here, but you know, if you ever make it to Oklahoma for whatever reason and you need a good local beer, pick up a Coop. You won't be disappointed. You won't be disappointed by any of the local breweries, to be honest with you, but Coop is kind of like the premium, I would say, you know.
Yeah, they handle their business.
Yeah. And yeah. Anyway, Ryan, that is through our list. That was a long show today, man.
I'm bushed.
A lot of stuff happened. A lot of stuff happened.
Simply just
bamboozled.
I am simply bushed. I'm simply wiped out.
Yeah. Well, before we go, I'm going to make an announcement regarding the future of the podcast.
Are we retconning some past?
This will officially be the very last episode of the Just a Big Gaming podcast. It's been a great run. And
it has. But I actually hate video games and beer.
I hate hanging out with Ryan, and I hate doing this. I can't keep it going. Just joking. This is not going to be the last episode, but we are changing format again. You know, and those of you we're experimenting, and one of the experiments was to do a weekly show, which I had been pulling off for the past, I don't know,
couple months.
Yeah, and it's been working, and I've been doing it in but I felt like, and Ryan and I, we had a discussion about this. We felt like it was separating the audience a little bit.
A little bit.
Just a bit. When Ryan and I get on here and talk, we talk about, modern games and, just a bit of movies and, whatever else. But when I do the podcast myself or with Amy, we talk more about retro stuff. And that's something that I'm also very passionate about. Obviously into retro gaming and collecting in general, and I have a lot to say on the subject. But I feel like, and Ryan felt like that it was segregating the audience a little bit. There's a lot of people out there who are like me, who are into both, but there's a lot of people who are into one or the other.
And like me, I'm into both, but I lean heavily towards the modern stuff.
Yeah.
And I do want to learn about the retro stuff. And I hadn't done my duty as a spouse, letting you know that I carried the same interest, that I was interested in your interests.
Well, and it's something that I kind of get really nerdy about, and, really kind of get into detail about it. And I just feel like that maybe some people who want to hear our takes on more modern games might get bored with that kind of, in-depth stuff, retro games that you may not be interested in. So the solution that we came up with is to go ahead and not do the every other week retro talk anymore, but instead do that as another whole separate, sister show of the JABGcast. So I haven't fully decided how I'm going to do this yet.
You're welcome.
We are going to continue the Just a Bit Gaming podcast as a bi-weekly show. So you won't see us again until 2 weeks from today. But the retro show, I'm going to go ahead and start putting together episodes. I haven't decided if I'm going to do a podcast or if I'm just going to do like YouTube videos. That's something I'm still kind of working through, and I'm still working on a logo and everything to go with it. I was thinking of like retro jab or something like that, giving it a name to still be under that same jab moniker or whatever. But that's coming soon. That'll when it does happen, I'll announce it on Twitter. I'll also announce it on the show. When I decide what direction to take that show, it'll be there, and it is coming back. It's not going away. It's just a little bit change of format, separate the two, make the JABGcast its thing and the retro talk its thing. That's just what we felt would be the best.
Yeah,
we don't want to segregate the audience, and we don't want to bore some people. And if you still want to listen to that retro stuff, great. It'll still be there. It'll just be its own show. Anyway, that's it. Huh?
Wrap it up. Put a bow on it.
Yeah, and stick it in the oven. Let's
with a bow on it.
With a bow on it.
That is irresponsible, but it's your house.
Where can you find us?
YouTube. I'm never ready for this. Every time. Yeah, just blurt out YouTube.
YouTube. You can find us on YouTube.
You can find us on YouTube, Google, Spotify.
No, not
Spotify. We're not on Spotify anymore, right?
So if you want to find us on YouTube, I'll take this.
Yeah.
If you want to find us on YouTube, just search Just a Bit Gaming Podcast. You'll be able to find our page there. I post all of the podcast in video format on YouTube, so look for us there. We are also on Twitter quite often. At JABGcast. At JABGcast.
I got that one.
All right. What about Instagram?
At JABGcast.
What about Facebook? At JABGcast.
Is it at JABGcast on Facebook?
It is, yeah.
I don't know. I only turned my Facebook back on to help you with that page, and I've been on the page once.
Yeah,
so
it's one of those things that I do post the shows when they go up there, but that's about as far as I go as far as interactivity. I would like to step it up a bit, but as I've said before, Facebook is not my thing. Twitter is my thing, though. I love Twitter. I'm on there.
Twitter's good stuff.
I'm on Twitter a lot. So if you guys want to hit me up or hit Ryan up, that's where you'll find us. We both access that account. We both tweet on that account. So hit us up there.
Slide into our inbox.
Gently though. With that, episode 15 is a wrap, man.
All right. This is 14.
No, this is 15.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Thanks guys for listening, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Later.